what sort of bodies, what Jim, and joined by Jason the Old Millennial, but this time he's known as Gaston.
It's on.
Yeah, and we've got Jacob Martin, but this time it's Jacob. Is it the fellow? I
Uh,
always get his last name.
Jacob
The
LaFleur.
the food, I'm what the Beast. And of course, we're going to be talking about the 1991 Disney classic, Beauty and the
No
Beast.
beauty on this cast, evidently.
Just the Anders.
We're not worthy.
Yeah, we're
We're not worthy for that. So did you both rewatch this film a few days ago?
no, I haven't. I mean, I've watched it many times, not recently, but I feel pretty good on it.
Yeah. I actually rewatched the movie on Disney Plus a couple nights ago, and it's always a thrill to go back and revisit Beauty and the Beast.
I've only seen the original twice, so I'm
Really?
still quite new. I'm still quite new to the original. But I did see the remake when it came out in theaters.
Live action.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw that before I saw the original.
Oh, wow.
Really?
But I definitely prefer the original though.
I've seen it once, and they did like a. I remember Jacob, you watched it. They did like a live play kind of version of it with right? Am I right?
Yeah, the
With,
one that talk about with her is Belle and Josh Groban is
yeah,
the
Josh Groban is the Beast, anyways, which was interesting. I would love to see more of the musical version of it, but
yeah, that one was weird because it was like half stage play and then half the animated movie, and
Yeah.
I was like, you need to pick a lane. Like if
Yeah,
I
pick
wanted to
one,
watch
yeah.
the movie, I'd watch the animated film.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I want to see Josh Groban singing. I don't care about the animation at that point, but
Yeah, but the live action film is all right. Like I actually think it's one of the better live action remakes. I'm not a fan of Emma Watson's singing voice. I was not too crazy about that.
she sounded so auto-tuned.
Yeah, it took me out of it. But I thought she still captured the essence of Belle very well. I like the cast in general, and I thought it was still, for the most part, a well structured movie. But it's one
I
of those
didn't.
cases where if I had to choose which one to continue to rewatch, is going to be the animated film.
Yes.
Same for me.
I didn't like Gaston. I thought it was a bad casting for Gaston, in my opinion. But
Well, I think that's enough to talk about the live action movie.
Let's save that for another stream.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just start off with talking about the first time we ever saw the original Beauty and the Beast. So I'll let you go first, Jacob.
All right. So the first time I saw Beauty and the Beast, I think I shared a little bit of this with Aladdin. A lot of my first knowledge of Disney was actually through the sing along videos.
yeah.
And Beauty and the Beast was no exception. I first heard some of the songs through the sing alongs, particularly Be Our Guest and obviously the title song. And I think some of the other songs like Something There and Belle, I think, were in some of the other sing alongs. So I was familiar with the songs before I saw the movie. The first time I saw the movie, it was in 2002. They decided to re-release the film, and they were showing it in IMAX theaters. We were on vacation at the time. We went. It was Virginia Beach was where we went, and they have an IMAX theater there, stationed inside an aquarium. This was when IMAX was still very limited in the showings compared to what it is now, where IMAX is really big. And we went to the aquarium, but I think there was a second motive. I think my mom wanted to see Beauty and the Beast, and we actually went and saw the movie there. We saw it. I fell in love with it. I thought it was an amazing movie. And then that movie became one of my favorite Disney movies. And even during a time where I wouldn't admit to other people that I enjoyed the film, because there's that stigma when you're a young boy, it's like, oh, the Disney princess films are girly movies, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and all that. But I did obsessively watch Beauty and the Beast as a kid, and I think a part of it was because I loved Belle as a character. She was one of my cartoon crushes. She might have been like the first one, along with Kim Possible. I can admit that. I think I related to Belle in a lot of ways as a kid because Belle was a bookworm. She loved reading, and I loved reading a lot as a kid, so we had that in common.
Okay.
So I think that was part of the reason why I latched on to the character so much, and just the lore, just seeing even the Enchanted Castle, I thought was such a cool concept as a kid. Seeing the different characters as objects walking around and some of the neat things in the different rooms. I just thought it was such a, I think magical was like the best word to describe, I guess, how I felt watching the film as a kid. And I think for me as a kid, it was like, I think maybe it was like the world building and the songs was what got me into it as a kid and Belle as a character. And watching it now, it's like, it's more so the story is why I'm such a big fan of this movie. But in any way, this is I think one of my very favorite Disney movies. One that I do go back to a lot, and it's one that stuck with me for the longest time.
What about you, Jason?
Yeah, well, of course, I was a kid when this came out, and for some reason I didn't see it in the theater, which I don't know. I'm guessing I must have known its existence. I probably saw some advertisement somewhere, but this is before I really started going to the theater as a kid. Like I said, Aladdin was like the first one I went to as a kid, and kind of got after that I got obsessed with going to the movie theaters and seeing Disney movies. Loved seeing Disney movies in theaters, but so at this point it was right before I started really getting into going to movie theaters, and I'm sure I knew it came out and all that, but didn't beg my parents to go see it or anything. And I remember I was in class, and this was probably 1992. I was in second grade, and I was probably like 9 years old or something. And we must have had like a free day at school where we didn't have. Maybe it was like close to the holidays, and so we didn't have to do any homework or anything. And so the teacher was like, "Okay, we're gonna watch Beauty and the Beast today at school." And I was like, "Oh, great! Like I haven't seen this movie." So I mean, obviously we had like a a TV and a VCR, I think, in our classroom that we'd use for stuff, and we had and she had the VHS tape of Beauty and the Beast, and yeah, so I watched it for the first time in the classroom at school, and I remember just really enjoying it at that time. As a kid, of course, you really love that kind of stuff, and at the time it was pretty groundbreaking for animation. I mean, and obviously it what's the word, it did well amongst everybody, kids and adults. First animated movie to be nominated for Best Picture. I mean, that's huge. That doesn't happen. Even today, that doesn't hardly ever happen. So, and considering there was only 5 movies nominated, I mean, even adults really were into this movie. And yeah, as a kid, I think I loved it because I loved the talking, what do you call it? Inanimate objects, whatever, the furniture talking and stuff like that. As a kid, I really enjoyed that part of it. I think as a kid, I mostly remember loving the scene where they storm the castle and the furniture has to fight back, and there's a lot of funny gags there. That's my memory as a kid. Is like I love that scene because it was so funny. The dresser dresses the men and women clothing, and they yell and they run away. Like that was so funny as a kid. Like oh my god, like that would. Anyway, so it was real. I thought it was a really funny movie. Obviously, the music's really great. The Beast was a scary character. I mean, even when I watch it today, I'm like, that's a scary character when he first appears. Like that was a tense situation. which is kind of interesting. And yeah, the animations was just really great at that point. And we'll talk about, I'm sure, some of the stuff that happens there. But yeah, so I mean, I got some nostalgia for that, for being a kid and getting to see it for the first time and being pretty excited. And then after that, I started watching all the Disney stuff.
Well, I first saw it just after I saw the remake about 2 or 3 weeks later. First saw it.
Yeah.
Got Harry Mockingbird.
Hey, Henry.
Hey, Henry.
How you doing?
Got my dad here. Who is a beast as nice Ruben. I guess it's me with the name What the Beast.
Adam's the Beast. So you don't have a childhood memory of this movie. That's interesting.
No, I don't. I first watched it, about 7 years ago. Almost
I guess
7 years ago.
maybe you were a child 7 years ago.
But I don't really have that nostalgia for it, though.
You're a young teenager, anyways.
That was about
Yeah.
I was about 7 when I first saw this movie.
Yeah, and I was about 9, maybe. Yeah.
So I guess we're now talking about what we like about the movie. But I'm pretty sure it's almost everything we like about the movie.
Yeah, there is so much that I love about this movie. Well, for one, Belle is my favorite Disney princess.
Yeah.
That's kind of if we ever did a ranking of the best Disney princess, I spoiled my number 1. I love this character to pieces. One, I like her determined spirit. I like the fact that she does not care what people say about her. But she's kind of like the oddball in the town because they want her to act a certain way. But
Yeah.
she likes doing her own thing. She likes reading. She's very curious. She helps her father, and everybody thinks he's crazy. So there's a lot of great traits you can take into the character, and I just like how I like how quirky she is, but I also love how selfless she is as a character too. The fact that she is willing to take the place of her imprisoned father just to save his life. That there's a lot you could take in with that. I think the relationship with Belle and the Beast I thought was very well developed to where they're very hostile at first. She sees the Beast originally as the monster who separated her from her father, and then she sees the good side in him after he saves her life from the wolves, and then she starts to see more of the human side of the Beast, and then that's what builds into the relationship. I love the animation in this film. Just rewatching these Disney Renaissance movies once again just shows how much I miss this style of animation. They put out some great animation in all of these Renaissance films, and this one is no exception. Like it feels like you're watching a storybook come to life with the way this movie is animated, and I feel like I've said this several times over the years. I feel like out of all the movies that came out in the Disney studio after Walt Disney's passing, I feel like Walt Disney would be proud of this movie the most. I feel like this one, honors what Walt Disney had originally started with movies like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty, and show that they still care about continuing on the legacy years later. The songs are terrific. Alan Menken, Howard Ashman. Sadly, Howard Ashman died during the production of this movie. He died like 6 months before the film was even released, and he was hands-on. He was hands-on with I think some of the story ideas, and I think he was an executive producer on the movie as well. But the songs in this movie are absolutely amazing. Like you really see the Broadway musical influences with some of these songs. I think that's what Menken and Ashman were in before working on some of these Disney movies. Like you have Belle, which is this big 5-minute opener, which sets up Belle as a character and the town around her. Like it does a great job of introducing the characters without feeling like it's stopping to break out in song. And to me, that's just brilliant storytelling. All the songs are great. Be Your Guest is a showstopper. Beauty and the Beast, the title song sung by the late Angela Lansbury, is beautiful. And then the ballroom dance scene is probably one of the most iconic scenes in a Disney movie. And they implemented computer graphics to help enhance some of the camera work in that sequence. And you see this sweeping shot coming from the ceiling down to the floor of Belle and the Beast dancing. And this movie's been out for over 30 years, and it still looks incredible all these years later.
Yeah.
Just shows the sheer craft of what they were trying to do with this story. And then, of course, like I said, Be Our Guest is a great number. I would love to. I wish they did like a theme park attraction based on that ride. I think that would be incredible. Seeing like you sitting in these cars and you're going through, and they try to do like the dinner thing when you're sitting and watching. I think that would be a cool thing. Gaston's a really good villain, and he has a great musical number. There's a lot of stuff I love about this movie. It's just such an incredible Disney movie. One of my absolute favorites.
Those weird names. Weird names like
Hey, Mike.
He's not seen Beauty and the Beast.
Oh man, you haven't seen it.
Oh,
Why am I not surprised? Mike,
Should be.
Mike, you gotta take advantage of that Disney Plus subscription if you have it.
Yeah. Watch all the Renaissance films, Mike. Yeah. So, what about you, Jason? What do you like? Or are we not finished, Jacob?
Jacob said it all.
Yeah, I
me,
don't have much else to say.
I know. I'm trying to figure out what to say now. The best part of the movie to me is the music. I would say Alan Menken is just one of the greatest. I don't think he's talked. I don't know if he's. I feel like he's not talked about enough because the guy has so many Oscar wins, including this one for score and for song for Beauty and the Beast. I mean, and nominated for, I think Be Our Guest was also nominated, I think, as well. And maybe the opening song was nominated. I don't know. Like these Disney movies would get like 2 or 3 nominations, it feels like, almost per movie because the music was so good. It's the reason why the Renaissance started. It started kind of with Little Mermaid, and this was like the second movie into the Renaissance, and they really kind of went all in on this Broadway style of music that really reinvigorated Disney and made it one of the biggest studios at this time period, especially obviously in animation. Alan Menken, so great. Ashman, of course. They worked so well together on this music, and like you said, a lot of iconic songs here. Beauty and the Beast, is my favorite. It's so beautiful. Angela Lansbury, great singing it. Love that. Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. I mean, it just flows so well together. And that I was gonna say that probably the best scene in the movie is that camera sweep from the ceiling down to, because that was kind of somewhat groundbreaking. I know, Jacob, it kind of started with Rescuers Down Under. I think they kind of started that kind of technology where it makes you look like you're flying, kind of.
Yeah, they did. They would continue to draw their characters, but they would have assistance from computers.
Yeah, so we're starting to get that computer assistance, which is so cool because, it's like you've never seen it before, where like you got 2 characters down here dancing, and then all of a sudden the camera's moving to them. I don't know. It's just like it was like. Like you said, even today, it's an impressive shot watching that camera sweep down to them as they're dancing and then sweep down, get the closer look at them or whatever, and sweep around them. It's like, wow, what an amazing shot. Like, I love that camera shot. And that whole scene is, definitely amazing. And then Gaston is one of my favorite villains of all time. I love Gaston. And in some ways, he's like this tragic hero character. It's like, he just wants to love Belle. He wants to provide for her, He wants to, save the town from this beast, this ugly, ferocious beast. In real life, wouldn't you be on Gaston's side? Like, there's a beast in the castle. Like, I don't like that idea at all, So in some senses, like, I just love Gaston. Obviously he turns evil and, at the end and all that. He's a jerk, and he has this. And I love him because this huge ego. It makes me laugh every time. What a huge ego he has, and how much he thinks about himself. That Gaston song, I love that Gaston song where he's all kind of depressed, and so LeFou like starts this song to cheer him up, and and he talks about all those exploits. He eats a dozen eggs a day or something like that. I don't know, and it's all this crazy stuff, and he's the strongest guy, and no one's something like Gaston, da da da, like Gaston. It's like I love that song, and Gaston it's like I said, it's just such a great character. I actually probably my favorite character in the movie when he's in the scene, and but yeah, and the intro is great and the ending is great. So it definitely bookends with the beginning of the story and then how it ends is really great.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I love I think one of the best ways to open a movie in Beauty and the Beast, where you have the prologue with how the prince turns to the beast, and it's done through these stained glass windows with narration. It doesn't feel like dry exposition. I thought it was a very unique way of opening the movie and setting the stage up for what's to come.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good way to do it. The music behind it is great as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And also you brought up Gaston. I feel like in other movies, Gaston could easily be the hero of the story. And I think the brilliance of his character is how they kind of twist that trope and flip it on its head. You can see right off the bat, he has the bad ego. He's very rude towards Belle, even though he has the hots for Belle. Belle sees the vain, selfish person he is and wants no part in that.
Yeah.
The seeds are already there that first he starts off as like the bully, and then he goes full blown villain, and you see from the beginning how he's able to go that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm just pretty much just saying what you guys were saying about the whole movie. Yeah, it's got excellent animation. It's got amazing characters as well. But I think my favorite characters are Belle and the Beast as well as Gaston. And I also Lumiere. Is Lumiere?
Lumiere.
Yeah,
Lumiere is great. Yeah,
I think he's my favorite of the.
And Cogsworth.
Yeah. Lumiere and Cogsworth are a good comic.
They're a good combination.
And then I like Mrs. Potts as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Also all different relationships in this movie. I also have Mrs. Potts and the son Chip together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course, the songs are fantastic here, but I think my favorite is probably the title track.
Yeah,
it's a favorite moment of the film as well. I think we could all agree that's the best moment of the movie.
Yeah, I just think it's brilliant. That Menken and Ashman were able to make a simple song. Every line in the song is 5 syllables, and it's actually really brilliant. Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
it's very cool. Yeah. So, I think another favorite moment of mine is where Belle first discovers the library in Enchanted Castle.
Oh yeah.
The Beast's got quite a collection.
Yeah. That was a really neat moment because I think that was the part of the movie where you see the relationship start to take off when he decided to show Belle, impress her with the interest that Belle's already into, which is reading. And so just the fact that he surprises her with that is like, okay, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
I also like the moment where they're at the dinner table and they're trying to have like a proper meal, and then the Beast is eating like an animal because he's got like 4 or 5 different animal personalities mashed into one because he's the Beast.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you gotta eat proper. You gotta eat like Belle with the spoon. And then he's struggling. He's going, And then Bill just sees Penny and is like, "Here,
Yeah.
just drink the soup or whatever it is they were eating." And that's all done with no dialogue. It's all the Alan Menken score, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah. Don't they tell him to smile at one point, and he smiles, and they're like, "Yeah."
Oh yeah.
Show me the smile.
He's
Like,
got
that
loads of
smile
teeth.
did not work.
Yeah.
Yes, the movie is it's very well well written. I also think it's a perfect length as well. It's paced brilliantly.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that bonus song from the special edition wasn't in the original version.
Yeah, that's the version I grew up with was the special edition because when we saw it at
Yeah.
IMAX, it was the special edition. They premiered that version in the IMAX re-release, and so ever since I first saw the movie, I'm used to "Human Again," this extra song in the movie because then we had the VHS of it was called "Beauty and the Beast," the special edition, and it had that added song on it. Which in the movie Human Again takes place after they sing "There May Be Something There That Wasn't There Before,"
Oh
and
yeah,
you see
yeah.
the objects take the initiative to clean up the castle as they've started to notice a spark between Belle and the Beast. And then while they're cleaning up the castle, they're singing this song about their desire to be human again, and it's this really catchy song, very and then it gets really beautiful because it builds up, it sweeps to this choir singing that we'll be human again, only human again, and that girl finally sets us all free. I'm like, I thought this was one of the most epic songs I ever heard as a kid. So I think I started gravitating towards big weeping musical songs at such a young age because of Human Again. And then
Was that the only
what?
was that the only extra scene for the special edition, or were there or there were other new moments?
No, this is all in the special edition. This Human Again song.
Yeah.
And then there's also this touching scene, and during the number of Belle teaching the Beast how to read, which I thought was a beautiful moment that adds to their relationship. And then after the song's over, it transitions to the ballroom scene. So this song is between two other really good songs. You get three great songs back to back in the special edition. And
What the moments were included in the special edition? Was this another moment? Did he have any more moments? The special edition, or was that the only thing?
No, the special edition is just the added song.
Right.
Yeah. And it was on the VHS as a kid. I have a Blu-ray edition of the film, which has both cuts of the movie. And so every time I would watch that, I'd watch the special edition. And I've only seen the theatrical cut of Beauty and the Beast probably 2 or 3 times. And every time I see that cut, when they go from something there, and then it just jump cuts to the Beast taking a bath, I'm like, this is jarring to me.
Yeah.
But I think we've spoken enough about what we like about the movie. Do you guys have any negative parts of the movie?
I have some negatives, but
Oh, you do?
And this is just something, I guess, as I gotten older, I have some issues with the movie. One is really, I don't like the Beast at the beginning. He's such a jerk, a horribly jerk, that I have a hard time believing that you would forgive him for all the horrible stuff he does at the beginning of the movie. He imprisons Belle's father. Like, somebody imprisoned my father, I wouldn't forgive them. That's what I'm thinking. Like, this guy's a horrible person, Beast thing. And I don't like that. So I really don't like that beginning part where he shows up and he's just horrible to Belle and his father. And, and so I have a hard time believing that she would fall in love with him, to be honest. I don't like the love story. That's my main thing about the story. Is like I just don't believe she would fall in love with this beast that's horrible to her and her father at the beginning of this movie, and imprisons her. I mean, she's a prisoner. Like, how could you fall in love with somebody who treats you like that? I guess so. That's my issue today. When I watch it, I go, I do not like this relationship at all,
So,
and hurts the movie for me.
so you would say this is Stockholm Syndrome, the movie?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I have a big defense why I don't fully buy it's a Stockholm Syndrome movie. Yeah, Belle is a prisoner, but early on she obviously she did not want to be there, and there was
No.
one part where when she was fed up with the whole thing, she tries to leave. Remember, she tried to leave, get back to her life, and as she's leaving, she gets attacked by wolves, and she tries to put up a good fight, but there's too many wolves overpowering her. The beast actually comes to save Belle, to save Belle from being defeated by wolves, and obviously the beast puts up a good fight, but he gets badly injured. And that is a key moment in the movie where Belle sees, okay,
that's a turning point. Yeah.
the beast is not a bad person. There's some kindness in this character. And I think if you did not have this scene, I would agree with Jason. I would say it would be Stockholm Syndrome, the movie, because if she just instantly fell in love with him and he was being bad to her, then yeah, that would be a problematic movie. But I think this movie does enough to where, okay, she sees the inside of the beast when nobody else could, and he did something for her. She did a selfless act. He did a selfless act. They're pretty much even at this point, and that's when the dominoes start to take place.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think for the first half of the movie, I think it's just an okay character. That I think towards the end, I think it's a pretty awesome character.
So, but I get very defensive about that because Belle's like my favorite female character in a Disney movie.
Yeah.
And also they did a direct-to-video sequel called Belle's Magical World, which it's actually, how would I describe this? It's like, yeah, they call it the third movie, but it's actually set when the beast is still the beast and the objects are still objects. So it's kind of like, it's not really a prequel. It's more like an in-between-quel.
Okay.
And it was like 3 rejected episodes of a TV show that was canceled, but they finished the episodes and made it into, and they marketed it as Beauty and the Beast 3. It's like one of the worst Disney sequels ever made. And they botched Belle and the Beast's relationship so bad because it's set during the time when, when the Beast is still not, like, the relationship's not really there yet. And so when you're watching the movie and you see, like, the Beast is the jerk and Belle just seems kind of brainless for just sticking with that, I felt like when I did the Celebrating Disney review of it, I think it was a couple of years now, I was like, I feel like the people that made that stupid controversy on the Stockholm Syndrome thing just saw Belle's Magical World and brought that up because they do it so bad in that movie. And part of the reason I hate that movie is because it bought some of my favorite Disney characters of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you have any other negatives for the movie? You two?
I don't have any real negatives with Beauty and the Beast. Like I said, it's one of my favorite animated movies of all time. I guess I watch movies and I nitpick stuff all the time. And I guess one thing I can nitpick, maybe like the lapses in time, I guess can be a little confusing at times. Like how long was Boo staying at the house?
Yeah.
Belle and the Beast were doing its thing, and how long was Maurice walking around trying to find the castle? Like the lapses in time, I guess, is a little confusing. And also, they say reveal earlier in the film that Chip has brothers and sisters who are teacups, and you don't see his brothers and sisters at the end of the movie. So are they still teacups? I don't know.
We never saw that. Did you ever see their faces?
No,
The might even be real.
you see his brothers and sisters sleeping in the cupboard at
Oh, really?
part of the movie, but you don't see him afterwards. So it's like, okay.
I really got a few negatives. I think there's maybe a few too many object characters.
Okay.
Maybe a couple too many. You're also not a fan of when the song something there finishes, it goes right into the title track. There isn't really a break in between each of those songs.
Yeah. Well, that's why I feel like the special edition comes in, because they put Human Again in between those two, and I feel like that song is the better bridge between the two scenes than in the theatrical cut.
Yeah. But I don't really have any of the negatives with the movie. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. So I guess we'll move on to what we rate the film out of 10. I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay, for me, it's an easy 10 out of 10. This is my second favorite Disney movie of all time. Belle's my favorite Disney princess and heroine. I just think it's also one of my favorite love stories in any movie. The whole message of it's not the outward appearance, it's what's inside that counts. I think that's such a resonant message, and they do it so well within the fairy tale type genre. And then you got the beautiful songs, great animation, and just the fact that this was like what Jason said earlier, the fact that this is like one of the few times the Academy Awards really respected an animated movie and gave it a Best Picture nomination. Part of the reason I'm not a big Oscar fan is because of their disdain for animation.
I know.
And it's cool that they were able to recognize Beauty and the Beast and give it a Best Picture nod. So
yeah,
I wish they had nominated Snow White back in the day, and they would respect it equally as the live action films. But that's a rant for another day. But I think this is an amazing film. Definitely some of the best that Disney had to offer, and one of my personal favorites.
it repeats Beauty and the Gaston.
Yeah.
Gaston.
Yeah, I'd have Gaston. No, I wouldn't. But
what would you rate the film, Jason?
yeah, gosh, I hate being the negative person on this one, but I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Like I said, I still struggle with that relationship, and the fact that he's a jerk to her at the beginning really bothers me. It hurts the whole movie for me, I guess. And I understand they want to make him a jerk at the beginning, so then he has this like character arc where he's like, okay, now he's a good guy. But I have a hard time forgiving the stuff he does at the beginning, and maybe that must be just a personal thing, because I'm sure everybody else loves the whole relationship thing, and that hurts it for me. I'm sorry, but it does. And
Yeah, he could have been a bit nicer at the beginning.
Yeah.
Of
I wish he was a little bit nicer. I guess I would have believed it better at the beginning, if that makes sense.
Then again, it's established in the film, and Be Our Guest, they've been cursed this way for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been, I assume that he was probably a teenager when he was cursed into the beast. So if you've been that way for 10 years,
I think I read somewhere that
you have this rose that's about to about to die out and lose its last petal, and when the rose dies, they're cursed for all eternity, pretty much. And if you have no hope, then I can see why the beast acted that way at the beginning of the movie.
I think I read somewhere that the beast he never aged when he was the beast. So I think he was 21 when he got cursed. I don't think he aged when he was the beast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure though.
Like, could have been early 20s on.
Yeah.
I don't. How old is Belle supposed to be?
Bill, that's a good question. I know they.
Wonder.
I know they have official ages for the Disney princesses.
Do they?
How old is Belle from Beauty and the
I'm not
Beast?
sure how old any of the princesses are.
They're estimating early 20s.
Okay. So,
Yeah, I'd say somewhere around there.
early 20s. Yeah.
Although some sources have claimed that she's 17, but I think the official source says she's in her early
Okay.
20s.
If you told me she was 16, I would believe it. I didn't know. Like, she could be 16, she could be 20. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, I still give it a positive review because I still really like the music. I think it's good animation. I love Gaston. There's enough positives there. I give it a positive review, but I'm not as high on it as other people just because I don't like the Beast character as much. I guess that hurts it for me, but if it wasn't for that, I'd give it a higher score. But and like I said, when I was younger, I'd probably give it 10 out of 10. But as I've gotten older, unfortunately, I've gotten a colder heart, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
I'm a cold heart or something.
Well, I'll say this, Jason. If we ever do Cinderella on here, the 1950s Cinderella, that's like my kind of hot take where it's like I respect it's a classic, but I've never like really resonated with it.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm higher on that than you then.
So,
but yeah,
Well, it was great to talk about Beauty and the Beast. And next time we'll be talking about my favorite Disney movie. I think it's you two's favorite as well.
yeah,
It's The Lion King.
yeah, we're diving into my top two back to back.
And Nick, I think Nick will be joining us.
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah, so it'll be 4 of us doing that live stream. That's my favorite Disney movie. I won't be writing any notes for it either.
Yeah.
I'll just say it from the top of my head.
Yeah.
See, a lot of these classic Disney movies, I don't even need notes. Like
I don't usually.
I've seen these movies. I've seen these movies so many times. They're kind of part of my DNA.
Yeah, me too.
I just make sure I try not to forget anything.
Yeah. Because I rewatch it just for the fun of it. Plus, I love revisiting this movie. I'll tell you another thing I didn't. You brought up Jason, like when they're raiding the castle and then the objects are fighting back.
Yeah.
I was paying attention to some of the stuff they were doing to these villagers. I'm like, they kill some of these villagers in this movie. Like the wardrobe just jumps on the one dude. It's like, I don't think that guy ever moved again.
He never moved again. I never thought about it.
Didn't one of the objects eat someone?
Oh yeah, there's like this chest thing that eats somebody, and you hear him lick its lips and burp.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's pretty bad.
And then you see the characters running off at the end, and there's like bodies laying outside.
I never thought about it. Yeah. There's some funerals going on after this.
There's quite a few unanswered questions in this movie, actually.
Oh, I got another trivia for you. Did you know when Gaston dies at the end, when he loses balance and falls? If you look closely, you see a close-up shot of his face as he's falling to his death, and the animators intentionally drew skulls in Gaston's eyes, pretty much to signify, yeah, he's a goner.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, he never comes back, does he?
No.
Thanks, Mike.
Well, thanks, Mike. Since you haven't seen the movie,
yeah. Go watch Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, go watch it, Mike.
It's an amazing movie.
I guess we'll conclude this live stream here. Do you guys have any final words?
Yeah. If you haven't seen the movie, be like Mike and watch the movie.
Yeah, definitely do yourself a favor and watch it.
As old as time.
Gaston is the tragic hero. That's all I gotta say. No.
Yeah.
And I pity the fool that had to be part of Gaston's madness.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if this live stream gets quite a few likes. We've got like here. The Beast 40 for the Baptist. That's all.
Dawn comes back.
Till next time, everyone. Peace out and ciao.